Good morning, Gear 4. Today we're going to continue talking about heat. We're going to talk about heat sources and how does heat transfer. And at the beginning we're going to correct your homework, pages 32 and 33. It was given to you on April 5th. And then after that we're going to talk about heat, and then we're going to make a little experiment, or I'm going to tell you to make a little experiment. I'm going to do it too, and I'm going to upload the pictures of me doing the experiment or the video. And I would like you to make a video or to take some pictures of yourself doing this experiment and recording the results, and send me the results to see what did you conclude from this experiment. And at the end of this session we're going to listen to a funny song about heat. I thought you'd like it. And today, guys, there is no homework, so yeah, I know that you're very happy about this part. Let's start together and correct your homework. So your homework was worksheet 23, pages 32 and 33. We're going to start doing it. Measuring forces. Lizzie uses a forcimeter. She measures the force needed to start a brick moving on different surfaces. So this is the forcimeter and this is the brick, and she tried pulling the brick over different surfaces. Here are her results: surface A and B and C and D. In surface A, the pulling force in newtons was 19. In B, the pulling force was 30. In C, the pulling force was 16. And in D, the pulling force was 6. Write A, B, C, or D in each box below to put the surfaces in order of force needed to start the brick moving. So we're going to make like a little arrangement from the easiest surface to pull the brick on to the hardest or the toughest surface to pull the brick on. This is related to friction, of course, guys. And if we want to know the amount of force she exerted in order to pull the brick on each of those surfaces, we will look at the amount of force exerted. So the least amount of force, it means that it was really easy for her to pull the brick over this surface, and that will make D the easiest surface to pull the brick on. And then followed by it is, of course, C, surface C, and then surface A, and last but not least is surface B, because she exerted the most amount of force pulling the brick on surface B. So question B says, Lizzie uses the force meter to pull the brick on a tabletop. She spreads a spoonful of oil on the tabletop. What happens when she tries pulling the brick on the oil? We know that the oil, guys, makes it easy to slip things over surfaces, and it will make the brick move easily if we added some oil to the surface that we're trying to move the brick on. So the answer is the brick moves more easily. Question C says, the diagram below shows three forces acting on the brick as it is pulled on each surface. So there are three types of forces: the motion force, which is the pulling force, and there is the force facing downwards, which is the gravity force, and of course there is this force, which is the force that opposes the direction of motion, or in the opposite direction of the motion direction. So this, of course, we know that it's called the friction force. Now let's start with our lesson, and we want to know how heat transfers. So I have a little example for you here, guys. When we want to we are on a chilly day, a day that is so cold, and you ask your one of your parents to make you a hot cup of tea or warm milk or hot chocolate or whatever, and your parent would go and put the water or the milk on the stove, and she turns on the fire on this milk or water. And why would she do this? She is transferring the heat of the fire to the water or the milk particles. So this what happens, this what makes the water hot or the milk hot, because the fire of the stove will transfer its heat to the particles of the water or the milk. So the thermal energy will transfer from fire to water particles. Next, after pouring the hot chocolate or pouring the tea in the cup, the cycle goes on, because the thermal energy inside the particles of the drink will start to transfer to the surface of the mug and the surrounding air that is around the mug. So this what happens next. The heat or the thermal energy will transfer from the water particles or from the drink particles to the cup and the air surrounding it. After that, when you start drinking up the drink, the hot drink, and this is the idea of you asking one of your parents to make you a hot drink, because you are cold, you want some of the heat to be transferred to you. And this what exactly happens. When the tea is drunk, some of its energy that is found inside its particles will start to transfer to your body, and this is how you get warm after drinking the hot drink. Now let's talk about some sources of heat. There is of course the famous one, which is the sun. There is the fire, and by the way, the sun is the main source of heat on Earth, on planet Earth. Of course, the light bulb, if you of course don't try this, yeah, but if you try to touch a light bulb after turning it off immediately, you will find it very hot. This is because the light bulb is one of the heat sources. And of course the stove, because there is fire coming out of it. And if you want to generate heat to your body, you start rubbing your hands together, your palms together. And this will relate us to the previous lesson, which is the forces lesson, and we talked about the friction force. And there was one question saying that friction generates it generates heat, and this what proves it. If you try to rub your palms against each other, eventually you will feel the hotness between your palms. Now here comes the little experiment. Here comes the little experiment that I want you to do. I want you to bring 3 glasses or bowls or small bowls or plates of water. One has cold water. Yeah, I prefer water that comes out of the fridge or the freezer. And the other one has hot water, and not so hot so you won't hurt your finger, and one that has warm water. You can mix in this bowl both some of the hot and some of the cold water. It will make some warm water. and I want you to put your finger, one of your hands, to the cold water and the other in the hot water at the same time, and then immediately put both of them in the warm water, and I want you to write your observation. What did you feel when you put them to the warm water? Okay, guys, I think you will get it by just saying what the experiment. It's very obvious what the result will be, but I want you to try it, and I want you to take some pictures or a video of you doing the experiment, and record your observation, or say your observation in the video, and then after that you can give me your conclusion also in the same video, or you can write it down. If you're going to send me some pictures, you can write it down in a piece of paper and send me the pictures. I will be putting a link on Google Classroom for you guys to upload all the pictures or the videos of you doing this experiment, and I hope lots of you would do it. Now guys, I want you to enjoy the next song. It's a very funny and lovely song that will you will like it, inshallah. I'll see you tomorrow, inshallah, and don't get used to not having a homework, guys. Tomorrow you will have a homework, and of course in addition of your practice worksheet for your upcoming quiz. See you tomorrow, inshallah, and bye bye.
Outside in the cold, I keep losing my heat. I shiver till my teeth begin to clack to a beat. My knees begin to shudder and shake and vibrate. They rattle back and forth so they can generate heat.
A type of energy, you feel it radiate. How easy can it be? Just move to generate.
I think I've started to feel the heat energy.